Sac, baby, the 916. Oh, smell that. Sacramento air. That Northern Cali air. Where it all started. Come follow me in the shop and let's get it poppin'. Like I said, we in Sacramento, California. This is my hometown. This is where it all started in the 916. So while I was home, I hollered at my partner Calvin, who's a longtime friend of mine. And he needed a cut, and he needed his kids to be cut. I said, let's create a YouTube video, man. I want to do something fly on him. So that's what we got going. So I'm draping him with the Rich Barber 360 styling cape with the universal neck strap. It'll fit anybody, a little kid or a football player. Doesn't matter, you good. First thing I'm doing is starting my initial guideline. And the trimmers I'm using are the Wahl detailers, cordless of course. And yeah, I'm going to work, set my guideline, making sure it's where I want to start my fade. Slightly lower, but ideally where I want to start it. Because remember, I want that bottom to be real tight. So I'm going to give myself a little more room at the bottom of the fade. When doing a haircut, it's always important to visualize and see the final outcome that you want. And that way, you know, you got an idea on where you want to start the fade. Do you want to start it high? Do you want to start it low? Mid? You know, so envision that look, you know, to the best of your ability, and then start going to work. So after I set my initial guideline, I'm gonna throw a 1/8 guard onto the cordless Andis Masters. And I got the lever open, and right now I'm just removing bulk. And I'm figuring out how I want to do the design. What hair do I need? What hair do I not need? Prep work is always important because it allows you to eliminate anything that you know you're not going to utilize. First thing you want to do is just an outline sketch. Drag the clipper as if you're dragging a pencil or a marker. Like, it just outline sketch your design, you know. And then after you outline sketch it, and you can kind of see like, okay, this is the blueprint for my design. Then you start etching out and really shaping the design, right? And that's what I'm doing here. I already got the design in there, and now I'm gonna slowly start, you know, shaping it, getting it cleaner and giving it more like dimension and bringing it more alive, right? Like, there's nothing worse than a design that just, you know, especially if it's a line design like this, where the line is the same width, you know, throughout the whole design. I mean, it doesn't give it life, it doesn't give it dimension, it doesn't give it like a flow, right? So you wanna make sure that you hit it afterwards and kind of make it, you know, give it a little bit of life, you know what I mean? Keep working at it until it, you know, gets to where you want it. Utilize those corners of the blade. Those are gonna be your best friend when it comes to designing and drawing with the clippers. Now I'm getting back to the fade, and I'm gonna fade him up following my design. Alright, so I'm gonna flow with the design. So here I got the Andis Masters and I got the lever closed, and I'm just blending my way up using my same fade technique for the most part, but using the edges of the blade and following the design as my guideline. Now this is now my guideline, and that's what I'm following, so that the fade has that same shape as the design. 1/16 guard on, and I'm fading that up into the design. Making sure it's dark when it's close to design, and then as it comes down, it fades out. This is just gives it more life, gives it more dimension, gives it more of its own flavor, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna do the same with this part of the design. Same thing, follow the shape of the design, fade up into that, and the closer I get to the design, I'm gonna leave it darker, give it that contrast. You see I got a missing tooth on my clipper blade. Did an amateur move while I was traveling to Sacramento and threw it in my clipper case without anything covering the blade. So you want to make sure when you travel with your clippers, always keep them covered. I mean, even if it's just throwing the guard on there, but keep the little cover that comes with the clippers, because that prevents this from happening. But either way, I'm gonna bar them up. The closer I get to the design lines, the more I'm gonna be very careful not to overly trim the hair that's close to the line, because I want that darkness. Now I'm gonna fade the other side, and if you watched my other videos, you know I fade half the head, and then I fade the other half, and then I blend each half into the back, into one another. So you know, you'll see me doing that here, but right now I got the lever closed, no guard on, just the blade, and I'm blending upward using my usual fading technique. Real quick, I'm gonna throw a 1/8 on just to remove the bulk, get it out the way so I can see what I'm working with. Clean up my canvas a little bit. Now I got the guard removed, lever closed, and I'm back to my fading technique. Small adjustment, and take that guideline up a little bit more as I blend my way up, making sure the bottom of my fade is real tight. Now I got the 1/16 on, lever all the way open, and I'm taking my fade up a little bit, create a new guideline, and now I'm adjusting the lever, bringing it in halfway, blending slightly below that last guideline, and then I'll eventually close the lever fully and continue to work my way downwards and blending that bottom area of the fade into the mid area. And what I'm doing here is I got the lever all the way open with no guard on, just making sure that transition is nice and flawless, and I get out any dark areas that are needed to be removed, using the edge of the blade, slicing through, making sure I work on it until I get the results that I want. That's that mastery mindset I talk about, you know, making sure that I approach my work with a mindset of mastery. So therefore, you know, I'm in the details, you know, and it becomes my habit. And I'm not quitting, I'm not slowing down until I get the results that I want. And even then, we still striving for more, you know, seeing how we can get better, learn more, and become more. That's the mastery mindset. So I was just using the 1/8 guard and continuing my fade, and now I have a 1/4 guard, and I'm gonna blend that into the bulk and just make sure the transition is nice and clean, but I want to keep it dark. So I got the lever open and I'm being careful not to remove too much. Now I'm prepping the hairline, laying this hair down that I'm gonna line up, use the reverse technique. After I lay the baby hairs down, I'm gonna grab the enhanced hold spray and the clear application card and just spray some hold spray on there and use it as a holding spritz, as a lining spritz. Let it dry, and then after it's dried, I'm gonna grab that Wahl detailers and start lining them up. And I always start from the corners and work my way to the middle. And I like this because, you know, you're not working with a flat canvas, you're working with a round head. So you have to, you know, make sure that you get the symmetry. So this works best for me. So this trimmer I'm using has a modified blade on it that was modified with our 1-minute blade modifier. And, you know, other than setting the blade real close and zero gapping it, the only way to take your trimmers to the next level is to modify the blade. And when you do both of those, then you enhance the performance and you actually get the maximum performance of the trimmer. So if you want sharper lines and closer shapes, grab yourself a 1-minute blade modifier. The performance is incredible, and that's what you're seeing right here. just when you thought it couldn't get better, I'm gonna grab some enhanced fibers with the clear application cord and hook little man up with some enhancements, alright? Youngsters like to be fresh too, especially my little partner right here. So always tap the line after the enhancements, get it even sharper, making it pop. That detail work, you already know. But if you're at home and you don't know how to line yourself up after the fibers, just use the clear application cord. It makes applying the fibers a lot more easy, so you can be more accurate and get that straight from the barbershop look, alright? Now I sprayed a little enhanced fibers also around the upper part of the design, above the design actually, and just wanted to fill it in some more, give it more of a dark look, and you know, add that enhancement to my artwork. So after I do that, I make sure to follow up with another run through of the design and making sure that I got it the way I want it and it has the dimension and the flow that I want it to have. So just getting real detailed with it, carving, etching out all the details, watching this wonderful piece of art just come to life. Making sure little man clean, making sure he fly. A little more detail work here on the fade. Final touch-ups. Now I'm gonna hit the other half of the hairline with the enhance. Few pumps. Remember, just lay the cord on the hairline. You can do this to your clients and you can do it at home. Now one last time, putting that modified blade back on that hairline, getting it real sharp and crispy. You can see the up close shot of the fibers in the hairline, and it looks real natural. You can't even see that it's in there, so that's how you want to apply them. Alright, don't overdo it, just enough, and you good. Alright, now I'm gonna hit the last little loose ends. Bam, look at that fade, look at the detail, look at the design, the blend. That's how we do it in Sac. You already know, the Rich Barber Hair Studio. Feel free to click the link below if you want to book at either location, West Hollywood, Los Angeles, or Sacramento. We got y'all. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment and some type of feedback. Until next time, I'm out. Barber.